Welcome to the 20-gallon long. We got some Neocaridina shrimp. Basically, they're cherry shrimp, and there's Bloody Mary in there too, but they're all interbred. Some white cloud minnows. I have 11 of them. They're ferocious. I just fed them, so they're all over the place. But luckily, these shrimp have been breeding like crazy. This is one of the half and half. She's Bloody Mary, but she's a cherry. And bloody cherries. We got quite a few of them in here too. We got some frog bit floating around, some hornwort, merino moss balls, Amazon sword, and as you can tell too, that plant over here, that plant over here. These two really don't get the root tabs, but these guys get the root tabs. I just put a couple in there the other day. That's why the water's a little cloudy. But I started with 3 shrimp. Got the parameters all right. This tank's been cycled for over a month. And I haven't changed the water in about a month either. But that's coming. I just put root tabs in there, things got a little cloudy. I got some dwarf lettuce and some frog bit going on up here. The water level's getting a little low, so the roots are touching the rock. So you got a little bit of circulation going. And a sponge filter. Everything kind of gets trapped up back there. Shrimp are piled up back there. Coming out the front. And I prevent the fish from going inside this cave, but the shrimp just, they come pouring out of there. Let me see what I got down here. Chemical box. Show you everything I use. Show you my little kit here. So in order to keep my tank balanced, I use the shrimp mineral shrimp salts. As you can see, I get it imported. Seachem Prime. And just regular fish food. I do have once a week I throw some of these shrimp pellets I got off eBay. So check that out, snails and stuff. But really, the main channel that I've been watching is Mark Shrimp Tanks. That's the main channel. I listen to every little thing that guy says, and I ended up here. An inert substrate. It's got some charcoal underneath there. There's black sand on the bottom layer. There's gravel on top. Root tabs. Oh yeah, I use a little bit of fertilizer too. I think it's API. API. That's good stuff too. I got quite a few. I got a tap water conditioner, some liquid CO2, and a leaf. I'm lazy. I don't want to reach over there in the corner. But I use that about once a week. Look at the color. Look at the legs on her. Back up and zoom in here. See, it's got some Bloody Mary in there. She's solid red. She's got red skin. A clear shell. A lot of these have clear shells with red stripes. I like to call them peppermints. Some of them are just really dark red. A little bit of stripe in the leg there. If they have solid red legs, that's a Bloody Mary. It's a red shrimp with a clear shell. And the others are clear shrimp with red shells. Red stripes on their shell. But they've been breeding. I haven't been paying. I'm not culling or anything like that. I'm not going to sell them. I'm gonna get more tanks for the kids when they get older. If these guys hang out, they keep breeding. I'll just have tanks when they get older. They'll be able to take care of themselves. Right here's the brood queen. That's the biggest female. And of course, she's got the worst color. And then there's that female. That ain't bad. She's another one of the big ones. But I had one Bloody Mary in here, and she was super dark red. She passed. She was big. She was old. They only last about a year. But they're pretty. They're little teeny tiny little critters. So yeah, we've had this tank going for... Well, I had another tank. They were in a smaller tank. They were in a 5-gallon. And they're in a 20-gallon long. I haven't lost a fish. Lost a few shrimp, but, you know, they're sensitive with the water changes and the parameters and all that. But I try to keep my ppm on this meter here. Try not to move the phone so you got something to look at. The TDS meter, whatever. I keep adding those shrimp salts. Probably like there's a little scoop that came in there. I use like a quarter of a scoop at a time. Every time I add water or change the water, I put a quarter scoop in there, measure the TDS. I want to get it above 150, but I don't want it any higher than 250. So I got it right around the 200 mark right now. And there it is. That's my big 20-gallon, my shrimp breeding tank. And my ferocious white cloud minnows that will eat 24/7. I'll feed them one more before we go, just to show you, like, they jump all over it. Anything you put in the tank. If I put shrimp food, them shrimp pellets, those shrimp pellets might last a minute in here before the fish get to them, and they just swarm. And they spread it around all over the place, which is good. But at the same time, I'm trying to get as many shrimp as possible, and these guys eat all the food. I could keep feeding them, and they'll keep eating. But the more you feed them, the more waste they produce. Probably wouldn't be that bad at this point. I wouldn't have to add any plant fertilizer. Oh, watch. No, probably a quarter of that food will end up, you know, floating down to the bottom. The shrimp will take care of that. They did eat well, but they will eat all day long. A little bit of snow. Lots of green algae. Had a little bit of a bacteria problem, cyanobacteria. So I added some spirulina powder for the wee babies. I had a bit of a bloom going. It's not as bad as it was. I've been cutting down on the light and all that, so it's really peaceful. Tomorrow's Saturday, so we'll give it a wipe down. Probably remove some of these floaters. Yeah, the light's pretty intense in here, but I just give it a shorter amount during the day. Might have to adjust that, but that's just something I got to pay attention to. I got it set on a timer, so when it turns off, it resets. But, you know, what can you do? All right. Now, back to taking care of the human babies. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. And if you got any questions, feel free to ask. I don't upload too much, but this is just what I got going on. I'm busy. Follow me on Twitch.